everybody, and welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Dim3D, obviously. Um, I want to make a small announcement, uh, and then get on with the video. So basically, I want this to be my last Blade and Soul video. I think this is going to be my last Blade and Soul video. Um, I have, I've really not been playing at all. Like, Archer came out, I played for like a week. I lost interest. I mean, ever since my last video where I said I was quitting, for the most part, yes, I did. I want to address that as well. I, ever since then, I've been playing maybe like 3 times a week for an hour a day. Not even, maybe like 30 minutes a day. Getting some classes up in Arena and then getting off and playing a different game. But with this class coming out, I played for a lot of hours during the first week or so, and a little bit during what just came through. So, I'm losing a lot of interest in this game at a rapid pace, and I don't think I'm going to be making any more videos on it after this video. Just so you are aware, I think this is my final PvP review video until they come out with a new class. So let's just get over with the BS and get right into it. I just finished one match before I got back into this video. I made this video 4 times already, but I forgot that I restarted my PC and they all went to FLV formats, and I don't want it in FLV format, so I changed it to MP4 after figuring out for like 10 minutes. But basically I'm going to show you wind build, only wind build. I'm not going to be showing you light build because light build is going to be nerfed, I guess, and it's just not going to be viable anymore. And then once we get the KR patch where wind gets buffed, light is going to be useless. So I'm just going to show you wind now and help you understand it while preparing for the update. So this is the build that I use, minus this one right here. This is the only one that I ever change. This tree right here. Everything else that you see in here is going to stay literally the same. Row 1 is going to stay stage 2 all the time. Row 2 is going to stay stage 1 95% of the time. Row 3 is going to stay stage 1 80% of the time, stage 2 15% of the time, and stage 3 5% of the time. I'll get into that later. For the last 2 rows, it's going to stay stage 3 on both 100% of the time. You're never going to change those. I'll tell you why in a minute. So first off, with Windrunner, you get these buffs with a lot of things that you lose in return for the buffs. The buff that you get is you get to use Wind Bolt and Triple Fire while moving. If you are a PvP player in this game, you know that mobility means everything. So having the ability to RMB while moving is a huge change. If you can't do that, you're basically going to give yourself away and you will lose. There's no getting around it. So you get to move while RMBing and using Triple Fire, but the cooldown of Q and E does not decrease anymore on a successful RMB, and it loses damage on your RMB, but not by a lot. That's all that you get from that one. Now, row 2, stage 1, the reason that I use Prime Hunter and nothing else is because with Prime Hunter, you get all these buffs on Amplify, QE, and LMBF. Now, you already get those buffs, whether you spec this stage or not. But if you spec this stage, you get double the buff. So Amplify before, without me using Prime Hunter, you get 4% attack power and 5% crit damage during Prime Hunter on Amplify effect for 6 seconds. The Amplify triggers Prime Hunter for 12 seconds, and then you get the 4% and the 5% for those 12 seconds. Now if you're using Prime Hunter stage 1, you'll get Amplify for 6 seconds, which triggers Prime Hunter for 12 seconds, and you get 8% attack power and 10% crit damage, which is double the bonus, which is a lot. The reason that you're going to use this one is because the only other one that you can use in this row is stage 2. With stage 2, this is literally just a nuking stage. That is it. There's nothing else about this. If you are 100% sure that you are going to nuke a target in one shot, you're going to choose this. The only class that you're going to want to use this against is a class that you can get into the air 100% of the time. If you cannot get a class into the air while you're using this, it's going to be useless. So don't even bother. Now, I want to show you how to use it so you can understand what I'm talking about. Now, say you're fighting a class, right? Say that this is a Blade Master right here, just for reference. They're blocking all the time. You don't have anything to really get around them. You can't really use your 2 because they're blocking, and the 2 only pierces parry, not defense. And you already used your behind attack, and they iframed it, okay? So you have nothing else. Now, when you manage to get your cooldowns back, and you CC them and whatever, and then you hit them with the stun again, you're going to want to use your Twin Storms. When you hit Twin Storms, as you see on the second line, it triggers Storm's Eye. Now, Storm's Eye spawns a circle right here and a circle right here. Always to the left and right of the target, from whatever direction you shoot them from. It's kind of hard to get into them because they're about 8 meters away from you, but if you can manage to get into them while you're aerialing a target, you can one-shot any target in the game. So let me show you. So I'm gonna hit him with my stun, hit him with the aerial, storm buff, get into it, double storm bolt. If you can manage to do that and get into the storm's eye before they come down from landing and before they come down and actually hit the ground and are able to tab, if you can do that and hit them with the 2 storm bolts and you have kill shot on, you're going to kill them 100% of the time. It hits about 70k in arena 100% of the time. I think 70k is the lowest I've seen. So that's the only reason to use this, is because when you use Storm's Eye, this one gives you the ability to use Storm's Eye and use Storm Bolt 2 times consecutively inside of Storm's Eye. Now, I mean, you can always obviously just get your skill back and then hit him with this, and the buff lasts for 20 seconds. These circles last for 20 seconds apparently. So you're just sitting here for 15 seconds, you know, whatever, you get him CC'd, hit him with this, and then on the setback, it instantly pushes you back into the circle if your back is turned towards it while you aerial them and hit the button to push you back. It'll push you right into it, and it's an instant kill. It's pretty good if you can pull it off, but the chances of pulling it off is very hard. Let me move my... There we go. I just don't want like chat to be in the screen because they say pretty weird stuff. So that's going to be used like 5 to 10% of the time during your matchups. If I had to say what classes it would be used for, I would say probably Force Master, Warlock, and Gunslinger. Probably the only 3 classes that you would use it against. Every other class is pretty useless to use it against. So let's get me out of combat, change back to Prime Hunter, because these buffs are pretty OP. So you get defense and parry piercing for 6 seconds. That's Amplify Effect. Amplify Effect gives you the defense and parry piercing effect for 6 seconds, but your damage bonus lasts for 12 seconds. Just to clear that up. This third row, we can use any of these 3 skills. The only reason that I ever use Smokescreen is when you're fighting Sin and KFM. It is literally useless against any other class. There's no other reason to use it. It's good against Sin because obviously Sin can't target you, and it's a really low cooldown. It's like 18 seconds or something like that. Can't remember. I think it's 18 seconds. 18 seconds, and it stalls for 6 seconds, and it gives you a 15% HP recovery. So every 18 seconds, you're recovering 15% HP, and you're invis for 6 seconds, which gives you basically a 12-second cooldown if you last the entire time. You only use that against Sins and KFMs, by the way, because those are the only classes that really can't do anything against enemies that are invis. Every other class has like a counter. The thing about Smokescreen, though, is that with Smokescreen and Lightning Step combined, you can actually invis and charge Stormbolt at the same time without losing invis, and shoot it without losing invis. I think you can shoot it without losing invis. Yeah, you lose invis after you shoot it, but charging it, you don't lose invis, which is pretty good. But it's also pretty useless, because if you just stand there, charge up, you know, you're going to get hit out of stealth no matter what class you fight. So that's useless. Don't ever do that. The only reason that I use Catching Wind 90% of the time is because of the skill reset on the LMB and the iframe extension on the QE. So as you can see here, it says decreases the cooldown of Q and E and SS, which is amazing. That's crazy. Everything goes from like 12 seconds to 9 seconds. You get QE from 15 seconds to 12 seconds, and you get an extended iframe on each one. It's crazy. And then you get a reset of LMB every time you use SS. So if I sit here and use LMB and then I SS away and then I want to go across the map the other way, guess what? I just juked you over there and just went back across the other side of the map just like that. It's like Gunner on crack, literally. So that's what I use that for. It's really good. The iframe lasts like forever, by the way. So it's just like, it's insane. I love it. I love that. The only other one that we would use on this, obviously, is Flying Dagger's spec. Now, here's what you get from this. Your skill down here, Rapid Fire, gets changed from a PvE skill to a day skill. Now, let me just clarify, this is not actually a day skill. This is a stun. You can't roll it. Anybody that gets hit by this skill cannot roll this skill. It's been tried many, many times by me and other people. You cannot roll this skill. The chances of you even tabbing this skill is also very low. It sometimes even delays the tabbing process by 3 seconds on a lot of the classes that you fight against. That's also been proven. And it's very abusable. It reduces the cooldown of your 2 by 18 seconds. So your parry piercing stun that gives you 16 focus every 36 seconds that you use it is changed from 36 to 18 seconds. That's insane. That's insane. Your one parry also gets changed from 6 seconds to 3 seconds. I have this gnat that just won't leave me alone. It's been in my room for like 3 days and I can't get rid of it. The only other two things that you use on this is Lightning Step and Kill Shot. You never change off of these. These always stay the same, no matter what class you fight. Lightning Step gives you this skill, which lets you teleport behind a player that you're fighting and stun them and allow you to instantly use this skill, Stormbolt. So you can literally just like, boom, step Stormbolt, just like that. And you'll hit them for like 20k instantly every time. It's insane. What it also does is, like I said, it gives you the ability to charge Stormbolt when you're using stealth, but that's useless, so we don't pay attention to that. It gives you, it says, increases the cooldown of long shot, but adds a knockdown effect, and it allows it to pierce defense and parry skills. If you don't know what long shot is, hit LMB, and then hit F. That is a 4 by 20 meter non-targetable cooldown knockdown. Why did I just say cooldown? 4 meter by 20 meter 16-second knockdown that is not requiring any target, that has a 16-second cooldown. I keep messing that up. It is a 4 by 20 meter knockdown that requires no target and has a 16-second CD. There. The thing that's OP about that is it pierces parry and defense, and you can combine that like this. You get close or whatever, you hit him with that, and then you hit him with the daze. They're not getting out of it. That's an instant kill. if you can manage to get them with that and then perform a combo on them, they're gonna die instantly most of the time. That's already like 7k of their HP gone. Maybe even more, because that skill, this skill hits so much sometimes. Sometimes that thing will hit like 10k. Not even kidding. And I mean, that's like pretty much that. The only thing that I can explain is, oh, this is the F skill, by the way. 4 by 20 meter area. The range is centered on you, obviously. It pierces defense parry, it knocks down for 2 seconds, and it also gives you the Prime Hunter buff for 12 seconds, which increases your crit damage by 10% and your AP by 8%, which is really good in PvP. It's also a 16-second cooldown, and it has no equalized PvP or PvP nerfs at all. So the only other thing that this build actually lets you do is this kill shot right here. Now this is the most important part. Increases damage to opponents with less than a certain amount of HP on an accurate Stormbolt or Deadeye. Hi, baby. Come here. Come here. You want to be in the video? I guess not. Deadeye is a skill that hits like 20k if you're fighting somebody with less than 75% of their HP. It says it right there at the bottom. 100% plus percent PvP damage on opponents with 25% or less of their starting HP. So if somebody's at 75% HP or less and you hit them with this thing, you can hit them for like 20k. I've hit people for 22k with this in arena. It's insane. If you can actually pull it off, it is insane. I'm just gonna bring my thing over here so I can smack this gnat. The only other thing that you get from this is the Stormbolt. The Stormbolt also gets the damage buff. Under 25% of their starting HP, no, 15% damage when attacking enemies with 25% of their HP or less. So if you have somebody that you're fighting that has 10,000 out of 40,000 of their HP, it's going to hit 10,000 100% of the time. If you're fighting somebody that has 75% of their HP and you hit them with stage 2, you're going to one-hit them almost 100% of the time. So let's do a recap on the other skills that I missed that I didn't really get into. So we have R&B. R&B basically just gives you your focus back. It is a non-parry piercing attack. You can get parried. It does not pierce defense either. It only pierces if you use your amplify effect, which lasts only for 6 seconds. It does not hit aerial targets. Your LMB moves you 16 meters, or if you just spam it, it moves you 3 meters one time, and you can consecutively use it 2 times if you use it for 3 meters, which is pretty useless, but only good if you want to surprise KD people. Stormbolt is a one-shot, pretty much like the kill skill, that's going to be used to kill people like 99% of the time. Your Twin Storms is a skill that's going to spawn circles around you that allows you to instantly use Stormbolt at the same amount of damage, but if you do it at like certain... If you do it at certain percents, it'll hit them for way more damage during Stormbolt or something like that. Your 2 is a parry piercing stun that inflicts bleed and recovers 16 focus. Your 1 skill is a block that's not a block, it just parries for 1, well, not even 1.5 seconds. Yeah, every 3 seconds or 6 seconds, depending on what class you use or what build you use. Your tab is a iframe. It's an iframe that resists damage and status effects for 3 seconds. It also reduces the cooldown of the iframe by 9 seconds every resist, and it also heals you for 6% HP every time you use it. Your 1 is pretty useless. Not your 1. Well, it is pretty useless, but your fireworks are useless. You're never going to use them. This Flying Daggers is OP. If you use any other build where Flying Daggers isn't in it, you're not going to use the skill at all. If it's Flying Daggers, you're going to use it, but if it's not, then you're not going to use the skill. 3 is basically a behind-the-back instant Stormbolt to make people force tab. Your Amplify is a buff, and if you block, you can use Alpha Call, which resets your tab, and if you get close within, I think it's 3 meters, you can change your flying daggers, not your flying daggers. You can change your bullseye from a stun to a 3-second knockdown that cancels defensive skills and stuns for 2 seconds on hit when a person is defending if they're hit by it, and it's only a 9-second cooldown, which is good for ground play. Pretty OP, by the way. And also your LMB, if you LMB, you can use your long shot, which is a 20-meter KD for 2 seconds. So, anyways, thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is going to be, I believe, my last Blade and Soul video, like I said. I don't plan on making any more videos for this game unless if a new class comes out. So, I mean, if you guys are looking forward to anything else, please let me know before I completely stop making videos for this game, because I'm starting to like it less and less every day. But I am transitioning back over to RuneScape, old school RuneScape, so you might see some videos from that. But other than that, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate everybody staying with me and watching these videos and helping me out and helping me grow my channel. But I'm going to start moving towards other sorts of like entertainment. I want to start doing reaction videos and doing video on like other games and kind of like that kind of stuff, like Modern Warfare, like Call of Duty, Destiny, Diablo, Minecraft, literally everything. Like, I just want to make gaming videos on anything except for this game. So if there's anything that you guys want before I stop making videos on this game, please let me know now. But anyways, thank you guys for watching, and until next time, peace out and good looks.